Streets in the small community of Pajaro flooded after the river's levee failed. That breach is now more than 120 feet wide. Emergency crews rescued more than 90 people so far since last night. County officials now advising residents in the area to not drink or cook with the tap water as it could be contaminated. Residents are now urged to only use bottled water. And this was the scene on Pajaro Bridge Saturday morning, where residents waited to be taken to shelter after mandatory evacuations. Roads are closed going into Pajaro. County officials are urging residents to not enter the evacuation zones. An evacuation center is set up in Watsonville at the Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds. You can see on this map all the areas marked red in Watsonville, indicating neighborhoods under mandatory evacuation orders. And KRON 4's Amanda Hari is in Watsonville at that evacuation center. She spoke with some of the people forced to leave their homes.
I spoke to many people here who say they're grateful a shelter like this one exists and has everything they could need. Over here, we have tons of clothes donated by the community that everyone can take from. There's also food here for everyone to eat and even some cots set up for people to sleep on. Hundreds of people are temporarily calling the Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds home. Monterey County Supervisor Luis Alejo says it was just after midnight, early Saturday morning, when they knew they had to evacuate.
We got word by emergency management office that the levees had broke and that water was going to reach Pajaro in about 3 hours. Supervisor
Alejo says many people left with very little, and they can't go back because the area is completely barricaded off. Andres Garcia says he and his family evacuated around 1:30 in the morning.
It's hard. You don't know what's going to happen next, so you have to leave everything behind.
He says leaving home has been difficult on his daughters.
For them, it's hard, to understand what's happening. So you have to be be calm.
And it's starting to settle in that they may be at this facility for some time.
So I spoke to the sheriff, so they told us about staying 2 or 3 weeks here until all the water flows down to the ocean.
Garcia says he's grateful for all the community is doing, including the Red Cross, which is providing volunteers to staff the shelter. He says his family is going to need the help.
So we're going to be unemployed for maybe a month or so.
The county supervisor says many of these people will be out of work for the foreseeable future.
Many of these families work in agriculture, and with those fields being flooded, that's the damage not only to our food supply, but it's to their jobs. They're going to be out of work for a long time.
I was told by the county supervisor this shelter will stay open for as long as it is needed. They're looking at opening a second shelter because they expect more people to be here in the coming days. In Watsonville, Amanda Hari, KRON 4 News.